We're in season 7 and there are tons of new storylines in the air, but the one I didn't see coming was, is Fatima jealous of Karen's baby? What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Sistas video. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my sisters' content and conversation. And as I mentioned, this video is all about Fatima and her feelings around Karen and their baby. In the trailer for episode 2 of season 7, we get to see ZAC refer to Karen's baby as ZAC Jr. Talk about how he wants to build a trust for him. Fatima goes off to brunch with the girls, sans Karen, and talks about her baby's supposed to be ZAC Jr. Or she's supposed to have a baby that is ZAC Jr. because it's still debatable on if she's pregnant or not. I'm just saying, I got a video on it. Go and fight me over there. We are focused on the jealousy right now. Okay. And then we get to see in that same trailer later on, Fatima arguing with ZAC about how he's so gung-ho to take care of a kid that he don't even know if it's actually his. And she's talking about Karen's baby. So those three things make me wonder, is she actually jealous of Karen's baby? Now, just to be quite honest, I wouldn't be surprised if she was. That is a natural feeling. I think that sometimes jealousy gets a really, really bad rap and like we're never supposed to feel it when it's honestly a natural human emotion. It's what you decide to do with said jealousy that becomes the problem. But feeling that feeling, registering that feeling, and then dealing with whatever sparked that feeling, it's a completely healthy and normal thing to do. Now, what Fatima's going to decide to do, I have no idea. Again, it's very healthy for her to have this feeling. One of the things that I really do enjoy about Tyler Perry's Sistas is while some of the stories can be very outlandish, while some of the sisters can stress you out and piss you off with some of the things that they choose to do, there are quite a bit of the storylines that are so true to life, so true that I have experienced them. I speak ad nauseum about how I understood ZAC seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Sistas specifically because I dated a man that was exactly like him, like to a T. Okay, I was Karen and I dated a ZAC, so I know exactly what it was like to go through all of that, and I had empathy for that particular person and still do. Love that person down. Taught me so much about myself as well as the world, and I appreciate Sistas for that. This storyline with Fatima processing her feelings around Karen having ZAC's baby and specifically what they're going to name the baby, I think is a very real conversation to have. And while yes, it gives messy and drama for drama's sake for this drama show, I think that it's important for them to have this conversation and to go into this space with this particular character so that other women can see that it's natural to feel insecure, it's natural to feel sad, it's natural to feel frustrated when put in this particular circumstance and left with these particular options. I actually had a person have a baby on me, and it was a person that at the time I had hopes would be the father of my child, and that is one of the first things that you think, especially if they don't have any previous kids. What about me? I was supposed to be the mom to your first child. And that's something that we got to see Fatima already express. She's already expressed that sentiment, not in a grand way, because too much of her damn time is spent on making ZAC's life a much easier experience. But she's definitely experienced it. And I think that what we're seeing play out in episode 2 is a continuation of that. It's starting to become real. The bigger Karen's belly gets, the more ZAC's talking about financial planning for all of his kids, the more real it gets. And then there's a little bit extra complication or nuance to the specifics of it actually being Karen because there's true love there. Because Karen, for all intents and purposes, was ZAC's first love and in him, her first love. So there's still a little bit of a friction. There could still be a little bit of insecurity. There still could be a ton of frustration to know that this woman occupies this particular place and you have a bigger place in his heart, in his life, in his mind, but there's still this one piece and you kind of want that piece as well, but you can't have it. I hope that's a good analogy or metaphor, but that's the best way I could possibly explain it. I think that Fatima's in her rights to be jealous of this particular moment in time, to be frustrated with ZAC wanting to name Karen's baby ZAC Jr. because she has already jumped through hoops and made so many sacrifices within her life to basically help form the life that is Fatima. Quiet as kept, y'all, Fatima has no personal life. She no longer does any of the things that she loves to do. She's not necessarily interacting with friends like she used to. Most of her days and times are spent around how can she solve ZAC problems, put out ZAC's fire, and keep ZAC sexually satisfied. So I would be frustrated too if I have now put everything that I had hoped and dreamed for. I'm not in law school anymore. I'm not kikiing with my friends or cultivating any new relationships. I'm not going to go listen to jazz. I'm not singing. I'm not reading books about philosophy. I'm not doing all of these things because I'm so caught up in you and the life that we're building. And one of the things that are tied to that goal of the life that we're building is me having your child and potentially it being a junior, and you give that away to somebody else. I can understand how she feels. Now, is ZAC wrong for wanting to name Karen's baby ZAC Jr.? Not necessarily. I think that this points out the lack of communication that's being had within this relationship that's tied to what is going to be beneficial to the both of them and what is going to account for what they both need in a relationship. Because again, Fatima sacrifices everything for ZAC, and ZAC gets to benefit for all the efforts and the sacrifice that Fatima puts into the relationship. But where is the convo around, well, I thought that my child would be named this. I want this for myself within this relationship. This is what would make me happy. If those conversations are being had, then you don't have the moment where somebody is surprising you with this thing that they decided to do, not even considering you. And I think ZAC's decision and how he mentions it feels a little bit flippant, like, oh, I just made this decision, it was just something easy, I wasn't even worrying about it. I think that this is becoming a reminder to Fatima that their relationship is very one-sided and she is not taken into consideration as much as she should be, if at all. But my question is this something that's going to actually wake her up? Now, we get to see in the trailer that there's a moment where she says, like, you're trying to take care of this child that you don't even know is yours yet. I'm wondering, is this going to launch them into a conversation around getting actual paternity and DNA, not just process of elimination from what Karen has already received? Or is this going to put them in a situation where they're actually fighting? Because it could go either way when it comes to Fatima. ZAC is not really fully receptive all the time when Fatima points out areas of opportunity or criticizes things that he does or says. So who knows what is actually going to happen? And I don't know if this is fully going to wake her up to the state of their actual relationship. Because while she is stressed or pissed about the ZAC Jr. name being given to another kid, the bigger issue is, again, how one-sided their relationship is, the lack of consideration, and how there's no room for Fatima within Fatima. Now, while I have all the grace and empathy for Fatima feeling in the way she feels, and I understand it because, again, I have felt this feeling before, what I do want to criticize and call attention to is why she chose to actually express certain feelings to Karen's friends. Andi could be middle of the road, but Sabrina and Danni are Karen's friends. And that part to me feels like this is getting unnecessarily messy. Because, girl, yes, feel your feelings, feel insecure, feel jealous, feel frustrated, feel pissed, but tell Andi that. Because voicing this concern and then creating a space for these girls to show up for you and your feelings about their friend alienates the friend, especially if you're going to do it while she's not even there. So y'all can't even have an open and honest conversation. I feel like that would have even been more healthy. Now, we know that Fatima is supposed to be joining the sister circles and getting integrated into the friend group a little bit better, but I think that this is a horrible way to start. I'm trying to figure out where the hell is Angela, because again, we should not be talking about Karen's baby, the baby that's currently in her belly, if she is not present and y'all already have a strenuous past. Y'all have already gone like 6-7 rounds in the ring. Karen versus Fatima has been very real over the course of the last 5 seasons. Why are we having conversations around her unborn child, even if it's tied to your feelings within your relationship? And what also is coming up for me in processing and thinking about this and just trying to predict or speculate where we're going, I'm wondering if this is going to make Karen feel like she's being pushed out of her friend group, which is going to launch her back into a space of frustration, but not just specifically with Andi, which we saw previously, but also with Sabrina and Danni, because they're sitting up here yucking it up right along with Fatima and Andi. I've already did a video on the synopsis for episode 4 where apparently Danni is going to betray Karen for ZAC and Fatima. By the looks of the trailer, we get to see Karen decide to leave this brunch and don't actually go and join them. So maybe she does actually feel pushed out. And then by episode 4, Danni is betraying Karen for ZAC and Fatima, which we don't actually know what that is, but you can head over to my video, which is the episode 4 synopsis breakdown, where I discuss it. It's your good sis you love to talk TV with. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my sisters' videos having these dope ass conversations. And I'm headed to the comment section right now to see what y'all's take on it is. Should she be jealous? Is she jealous? Is this gonna make her and Karen go to war? Who the hell knows?